Okay, I'm back. Thanks for waiting. Do. Alright, so where were we? What were we talking about? I got totally distracted. I'm like mentally distracted with other things. We talked about a lot of stuff this morning. We did a lot of talkie-talkie. Oof. Oh my goodness, that feels nice. Everyone's always horrified when I crack my neck. I'm just like, but it's fine. Sounded like it felt so good. Yeah, I have really, like, I've got, for lack of a better way to phrase this, I've got beefy cracks. They're like deep and, you know, they've got a nice solid clunk to them. Just the beefiest cracks. Has anybody started good habits in quarantine that they've kept up with? I have a really hard time being consistent with anything. If I don't schedule it, if I don't schedule something where like other people are reliant on me, it just doesn't happen. Like the whole time, and even before quarantine, I'm like, you know, I'm very tense. Well, when I was running, not so much. But I was like, you know, quarantine hit and I had to stop running. And I was like, I really should do yoga. Like, I want something to keep my body active, and also I'm just like very stiff because I'm not in the same spot. Or like stretching. I can't bring myself to like stretch every morning like that. Just, it doesn't work for me. Even when I was running, I was doing it sporadically. It wasn't, I didn't have a set thing where I was like, I will run on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or I will run twice a week, or every day, or whatever it was. It was just whenever I fucking felt like it, I would do it. I have a really hard time being consistent with stuff like that. Because even if I do it and enjoy it and I'm like, oh, that was great, that doesn't necessarily mean that I want to do it the next day. Nope, tried, failed at every corner.
Frameshift drive charging.
Was distracted as well, but my best guess is you were talking about penis vagina. Well, only always. I love penis vagina. I usually am, that's true.
4, 3, 2,
Yeah, like, that's part of why when I wanted to learn how to draw, I put it in the stream schedule. Because I knew that if I was like, set aside time outside of your obligations to do this thing, that I wasn't ever going to do it. Or I would like do it once or twice and then never do it again. Whereas if I have something that I have scheduled like with other people, like stream for example, like stream and work, or what have you, if I've scheduled it with somebody else and like someone else is expecting me to be there and do a thing at a certain time, that works for me. That will get me to do it, and I usually enjoy it once I'm doing it. Or I appreciate it at least. But if I'm just like sitting around by myself and I've got hours and hours of time, I'm like, what should I do with my time? I'm never gonna be like, why don't I do some fucking yoga? I like yoga. I think if I was able to go to a yoga class, it would work better. Like, I do well in group situations. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but leave me to my own devices and I'm like, no, I'm fucking lazy. I don't want to do that.
system scan complete.
Like, I'd rather watch this stream or read this book or. That's how you are, right?
Frameshift drive charging.
So I don't talk about this very often because I think it sounds disingenuous to the collective experience of how hard quarantine has been for everyone. My experience through 2020 in terms of being able to work from home and have a lot of time to work on myself after divorce was really good. Is really good. I've been able to do a lot of things I haven't been able to attend to for about 2 or 3 years. No, I totally get that. And I don't think that's disingenuous at all. Quarantine has allowed a lot of people the time to self-reflect and to think about things. I think that's why a lot of people are either getting married or breaking up. And it's not just like, oh, we're locked in the same spot. I think it's much more a case of having the time to like actually sit there and think about shit. Not having the multitudes of distractions of the outside world gives you a lot more time to focus on other things. And like, as awful as being an extrovert in quarantine has been, you know, I don't feel like it's disingenuous for people to be like, no, this works for me. There are a lot of people who just do work from home better, just in terms of like work and being productive. Some people need to be in a separate space and like go into an office and be like, this is my workspace and I need a set schedule, and that works for them. So being work from home in quarantine is really fucked with them, you know? And that's not the case for everybody. Some people are like, oh, I'm now thriving that I don't have to go into the office, because they can kind of work at their own pace and just do what works best for them. Same thing with like learning. Everybody learns in a different way. For me, traditional classroom setting tends to work the best. Other people are more hands-on. Other people are visual learners. You know, like there's different ways of learning. There's different ways of being productive and working. Like, humans are vastly various. So, of course, not everybody's going to have the same experience. Like, the first 6 months of quarantine were awful for me. Because I'm an extrovert and I need... I specifically need physical touch for my mental health. And that doesn't have to... I'm not talking about bang-a-langin'. I'm talking about, like... I'm a very touchy person. So, like, if I'm talking to a friend... You know, I'll, like, you know, touch their shoulder or something, or, like, you know, hugs and whatever. You know, it's just like a casual platonic touch is something that I've learned over the years I need for my mental health. So not having that for 6 straight months was really, really hard. I developed depression for the second time in my life. It was not fun. But now I have a dedicated touchy bubble. So at least once a month I get to go have hugs and get to go just like exist in the same space as other people. That's also something that, again, I've learned over the years is something that I need. Virtual connection. You can forge real and valuable friendships and meaningful relationships with people virtually. It's just as... It's equivalent to doing it in the meet space. However, virtual back and forth is not a substitute for being in person.
System scan complete.
Like, being in a Zoom call with a friend is really nice, and I enjoy it, and I love it.
Engaged.
It's not the same, and it cannot replace it. It just it doesn't recharge me that way. Hope they get to continue work from home after this. Don't want to go back to an office space. A lot of people feel that way.
4, 3, 2.
Quarantine hasn't been too hard on me, but I'm an introvert. I do live with my 2 partners, so I do get as much person-to-person interaction as I need and can get regular touch. Yeah. I mean, everybody, even very, very introverted people need physical touch eventually, and they need in-person interaction. Like, That's just a human condition that eventually that's something that's needed. The length of time you can go without or the amount of it is obviously vastly different. So a lot of introverts have not had as hard of a time, especially like, and I kind of, you know, like, I look at people who, like, and I live by myself. I don't have roommates or anything.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
I'm like, I look at other people who live with their families, and I'm just like, wow, you can just go, like, sit next to somebody and have a conversation. That must be really nice. You know? Just like, wow, that sounds lovely. It sounds real nice. I mean, there's also challenges with that. I totally get that. It's the same thing as, like, pain is pain. This is not necessarily pain, but, like, you get what I'm trying to go for. Like, it's not a competition, you know? It's not a who had a more difficult quarantine. And some people are thriving in quarantine, and that's great. I'm glad that they're getting to learn about themselves and learn what they need. I'm not going to begrudge them that. Everybody deserves that.
Fuel scooping.
But for those of you curious, I actually stopped taking my meds. I was on Prozac for the depression, and I was like, I don't need it anymore. I also just forgot for like a week to take them, and I was like, well, I already kind of fucked that up. So, and I just tossed them. Losing your mind living with your folks. No, I get that. Being trapped in a space with people who are... how shall I put this? Being trapped in a space even with people you love can be hard. Not having the freedom of, like, getting that distance sometimes. But especially, your family's a bit, they're not very understanding.
Scan complete.
They're not very understanding. So, that's hard to be trapped with, you know? Insane. I wasn't gonna say that. Bato-sai, hello. That's great that you don't need them anymore, though. Yeah, and that's because, you know, I get to see my friends once a month. They're the only people that I see, and we make sure that we get COVID tests. Like, we do it safely. I know that they're very safe. They mostly don't leave the house. Like, we've been quarantining. So, don't worry, we're not being stupid about it. But just like, even as an extrovert, I can go about a month, and then I need to be in person with people. I get to see my boss, which has been really nice.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Friendship.
I love her. I love hanging out with her and talking to her. But you know, I need those hugs and need to hold hands. I just need the casual, like, sitting on the couch and our legs happen to be touching. Like, that's just something that I've learned that I need. So I can go about a month without that, and then I'm like, okay, I need a hug right now. I need a hug now. Thankfully, my wife and I have been doing pretty well, not gotten on each other's nerves, but I could definitely use some additional human contact. Yeah, that too. Like spending in-person time with friends. Yeah, for sure.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
I mean, I joked to my grandma about this. I was like, hanging out with friends is like polyamory for monogamous people. Like, you love your spouse and you love spending time with them, but they don't fulfill every single one of your needs. Like, you have other interests that maybe they're not interested in. And also, if you're spending every single day together, There's nothing new to like discuss and talk about. You know, it's valuable for the relationship to go have experiences on your own or with other people, and then you can come back to your spouse and like talk about it and be like, hey, this was super fun, or just like, it's revitalizing even if you don't talk about it after you return.
Frameshift drive charging.
You know, humans like variety. Melecta needs leg touching. Yes. Leg me, daddy. But yeah, my grandma was saying the same thing. She's like, I love Andy, but I just want to hang out with somebody else. I just want to like see somebody else and like have lunch. But no, I get that. Get a hug about once a week from a roomie. Aw, that's nice.
Fuel scooping.
I like hugs. Hi, I'm Olaf, and I like warm hugs. So I got that touch aspect every now and again, but I miss my other friends terribly. Internet's not enough. Yeah. Yep, but it's what needs to be done exactly. Being isolated is very trying, even if you're married with kids, sometimes even more so. Oh yeah. Surprised your 8-year-old has survived it.
Voicemail box of
That is... These kids are gonna be super fucking resilient. It's funny how reliant I am on other people because I'm also simultaneously very independent.
Complete.
I'm extroverted and I gain energy by being around other people. And I need it to be happy and healthy. But I also like doing things by myself. I don't need to have people around constantly. I like it and will gladly accept it. But like, I can just sit around and read. I'll go to the movies by myself. I don't mind going out to dinner alone. Like, I'm a very independent person. Like, I can do it myself. Is very much part of me.
Frameshift drive charging.
At the same time as,
person you're trying
but
to
oh my
reach
god, people, I love
is
people.
not available right now.
I touch you with my saber. Is it on the shoulders? Am I being knighted? Miss lightsaber fighting? Oh, that's cool. I miss best friends lunches! Right? It's just like, it's these little things that enrich your life that are suddenly gone, and that's hard. They don't need to be like life-changing, but when there's suddenly an absence, like you can't just like go browse a bookstore. Like maybe that was something you took joy in. And it's a small thing, and it's not like if you never were able to browse a bookstore again, you're not gonna die. But now all of the little things are gone. And you know me, I'm like, it's the little things that make up an experience, and that's not just for media, that's for life. At least for me, that's how I function. Like, yes, the big moments matter a lot, obviously, but it's all the little things that make up the whole. That's why I get so excited about stupid little shit. I just love it. I'm I'm easily pleased and easily amused in that sort of sense. You see it a lot when I play games. Like, if there's just like a really, really nice font in a video game, I like get super excited. I'm like, oh my god, look at the font, it's perfect. And I like all these little tiny things that for a lot of people don't fucking matter. I just get so excited about. But it's like all of the little things put together to make the whole that make it what it is. I love that stuff. I love that stuff. I think that's why I'm able to enjoy so many different things, is because it's the tiny little thing, the tiny aspects and the tiny moments that I just really enjoy. I think I'm the inverse of that, introvert in the sense that I need to be alone to recharge. Oh yeah, that's straight up introvert, but would go nuts without being with people. Oh yeah. Yeah, a lot of people have sort of what I feel is a misconception about the terms introvert and extrovert. And it's not that introverts don't like being around people. It's that they can only handle so much of it until they need to be alone to recharge. You nailed it on the head. It's simply like, how do you get your energy back? Is it by being alone, or is it by being around people? And how long you can go until you need to recharge, it varies from person to person. Some people love hanging out with their friends and adore it, but after 2 hours, they're like, this is enough. I need to go sit in a room by myself and not look at anybody, you know? And that's going to be different for a different introvert, you know? Somebody else who's introverted can spend like a week around people nonstop, like at a convention or something. And then when they get home, they're like, okay, nobody talk to me. No, it's different for everybody. And then extroverts, on the other hand, like I was saying, about a month and a half, 2 months. I think I lasted, when quarantine first started, I think I lasted like, I don't remember. We'll say 2 to 3 months, where I was like, I kind of hate it, but this is fine. And then I started extra crashing, and it was not good. Love going to the movies by myself. When other people hear that, they think I'm weird. Why? It's not like I'm going to have a conversation, right? I don't get that. I don't get that. I mean, I like going to the movies with other people too, but like, I don't need other people there to go to a movie. I'm perfectly happy going by myself. That is not an activity where I feel like I need a companion. Of course I will take a companion, because extrovert. But it's rare that during a movie that I'm even, like, it's rare, like, when me and Fred used to go to the movies together. You know, I liked going to the movies with him. But, like, we're not talking during the movie. And I would only sometimes glance over at him to, like, see how he reacted to something. Or to, like, briefly share my reaction with him. It was mostly just it's like sitting in the same room and doing different activities, which I also really like doing. I used to do that with Fred a lot too. He'd be playing a game, and I would like just go sit in the same room. Like, I'd go sit in the room that his computer was in and like read a book. You know, it's just like doing separate things but in tandem can be really nice. We are not vampires, figure 4. Miss having a best friend, period. I know how that goes. I am really grateful and lucky to, now that I'm older, have some really wonderful close friends. I get weird about best friend as a title though. Because of past trauma. I'm getting over it. I'm mostly over it. But yeah, there were many years, probably like over a decade, where I did not have a best friend. Or if I felt that kinship with somebody else, they didn't feel the same way. Like, they were my best friend, but I was not their best friend, and that doesn't feel great. Hush your face and level up, lol. How do you get your energy back? Parent. Ha! Ha 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 ha! Coffee no longer works. I'm considering cocaine. That's how I feel about tea. I love tea, but that does not wake me up. I love this song. We haven't heard this one in a while, too. Also, get 2 extroverts in a room, and that is just like endless energy. So that is a myth. Unless we're just swapping energy back and forth forever. But, like, me and Will, for example, there's a reason that we stay up till like 6 in the morning whenever we hang out in person. It's because we're both extroverts and neither of us ever shut up. Neither of us ever shut up. So it's just like we're constantly just gaining energy because there's another human. Oh my god, it's the best. Went to the movies alone a lot and at weird hours to get a discount. Oh hell yeah, that's awesome. I love that shit. If I could somehow be with all my friends 24/7, I'd be completely fine with that. You must be an extrovert then, Brett. Like, I like alone time, but I don't need it. I can go forever without needing to be alone. I used to take like 2 weeks in the summer to go sit on my grandparents' porch on the beach at their beach house and just read books. And that was like about the closest that I got to alone time. Where I wasn't really alone, like my grandparents were around, but I also didn't need it. Want? Sure. But like, and that was more just about, hey, I get to just, books are my jam right now. But I would like get up in the morning, go sit on the back porch under the umbrella so I didn't have to put on sunscreen, and just read and read and read and read and read and read. And I would only go in the house to like get more water or use the bathroom or like get food. Dr. Nemo is me. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the court of the hype. Here is your meerkat. Welcome dance. Da, 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 da. But then in the afternoon, I would, if I was feeling really energetic, I would go for a run. Or most likely, I would like hang out with my grandparents. Where's the game? I'll tab back in. You know, so then I'm still seeing people throughout the day. But I'm focused on something else in the morning, and then like that was my version of alone time. That's an extrovert's alone time. Is like reading books in the morning and like hearing other people out and about. It's like that Amanda Palmer song, "Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help your black ass," or something like that. I forget what the title is. It's like, how does it go? If I wanna sit here and order red wine. Wait, I can't like pick it up in the middle, especially when I've got other music going on. But it's like, I like being alone around people. Yes, that's how I like it. Those are the lyrics that I thought of. But she's talking about like sitting at a bar, ordering a glass of red wine, and like writing something. You know, like she doesn't want to fucking talk to you. I just like being alone around other people. We're not vampires is exactly what a vampire would say, but I love Sky Orb. I don't know, Lacta, you have pretty pointy teeth. I used to wish my teeth were pointier. Is that weird? Spend some time playing mini. Yeah, you do a lot. You have a lot of like crafty things that you do. That's nice. I have so many interests. It's the curse of having eclectic tastes. It's like I never get to actually focus on one thing. Like, I will never be able to play the guitar well because, again, I have trouble, like, committing to something like that, and I just have too many interests. Sometimes I'm just like, I just want to crochet. Other times I'm like, I don't want to fucking crochet, I just want to read. Could be a White Court vampire from Dresden series. I never read Dresden. Yeah, I missed going to the beach and reading this year. I think it's more about having like dedicated time to just sit there and consume a bunch of books.
System scan complete.
Well, and also the beach is nice. Like I like to go for a walk on the beach.
Frameshift drive charging.
Occasionally go splash around in the water. That's not even how you spell that, JP. You weirdo troll. Very highly recommend. Only started reading it 2 years ago. It's a good ride. I know a lot of people who like this series, but that's like a commitment. That's a lot of a commitment. Akarasi, thank you for being a patron of the hype for 2 months. I hope you enjoyed your parade, and here is your royal salute. How you doing? Hello, hello. Same way, so hard to commit with so many cool options. And also, I have a hard time being consistent. So people are like, oh, just do it like 15 minutes a day. I can't. I just can't bring myself to do it. I don't know what it is about me. I just like, it does not work. Even if I'm consistent with that for like a month, I will, like, the second that I stop, it's over. And I will stop. That's why whenever I set goals for myself, it's never do X every day or X times a week. It's like, my overall goal is I want to be able to do this thing. And then I can say I want to be able to do this. Like, for example, when I was younger, one of my New Year's resolution was I want to be able to touch my toes because I was so inflexible that I could almost reach mid-shin. That was really bad. So I was like, you know what? I want to be able to touch my toes. I didn't say I was going to stretch every day or every week or how many times. I just said by the end of the year, I want to be able to do this. And I did. I did it enough when I felt like it, when I remembered to, you know, that I did eventually make that goal. But trying to make myself do it every single day would not have worked for me. I don't know why I'm like that. People were like, I like main X character. I'm always like, but why though? There's so many. I mean, that's part of why I'm poly, right? There's too many people in the world. There's too many people, and I love them. I just started playing Elite Dangerous. That's so exciting. It seems like there's a steep learning curve. Yes, absolutely. Very, very steep learning curve. When I've only really ever played the game on stream. So I was very lucky to be able to be like, when I want information, I can instantly get answers. And when I don't, shush. People are like, oh, I play with a Google document or like this video, I watched this video tutorial. I don't have the patience for that. Wondering what you're working on currently in it. Right now, I'm just jumping back to the bubble. I explored all the way out to the Galactic Center. I explored Sagittarius A when I was over there. I scanned some planets, so I have the Lecta system that has my name as first discovered and first mapped. But I want to do co-op things again. I want to do combat, especially with my new flight stick. I want to be able to do combat missions, and I want to do canyon flying. I want to outfit a ship and do my flight assist off nonsense again. I'm thinking it'll be a lot easier with this stick now. I'm gonna have to spend a lot of time once I'm back in the bubble, probably off stream, like messing with the controls and trying to find, like, calibrating it to where it feels perfect. Is that Seamouse or Seamus? Or Seamoose? Anyway, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the court of the hype. Here is your meerkat. Welcome dance. Game give you so many characters. Don't you know you're supposed to play all of them? I mean, Genshin is great for that. You want to switch around and have different feel instantly? Genshin. What does that mean, the bubble? The bubble is the space around Earth, in the Sol system. That's just where a lot of the players hang out. That's where you start out. That's the starting area, basically. In the late 90s, I New Year's resolved to not make New Year's resolutions ever again. So far, I've stuck to that one. Yeah, my New Year's resolutions are usually just overall goals, rather than like a set of rules to adhere to, because that does not work. I will not follow that. And I don't want to feel bad about, like, not following my own rules, you know? It just works better for me if I'm like, I would like to do this. And then however whatever path I take to get there is fine. So it's just a general area where most people are.
System scan
Yeah.
complete.
Well, because if you want to do co-op things, it's easier if you're not spread out across the galaxy, because Elite Dangerous is a one-to-one representation of the galaxy, like the real one. The real actual one that exists, which is why things are named Bieya Yukupuxi, or whatever.
Frameshift drive charging.
So, like, distance-wise, it is identical to our galaxy. What new flight stick? Thank you, Simon, for pulling up the HOTAS information. I got it for Squadrons and Elite, and maybe eventually Star Citizen. I do want to do Canyon Flying and Star Citizen, but like right now, Elite is my focus, and occasionally Squadrons. So I'm already in the bubble? I like this. You're so cute.
Fuel scoping.
Back of my right hand is trembling from carrying 4+ kilos of dog food. The only... kilos make no sense to me, like that as a unit of measurement. I have no concept for. The only thing I know that comes in kilos is cocaine.
Fuel
But I still don't know how much that is. I just know that's a lot.
Frameshift drive charging.
I feel like a wee space baby who's already safe in the bubble. Oh yeah. Well, and there's also like the starting area where you can't even interact with other players. I stayed there for a long time. Everyone's like, you know, you can leave and do other things and blah blah blah. And I'm like, nope. Just gonna run my little data transfer missions back and forth while I get used to flying and the UI, and like there's a lot to learn. I don't need all that other stuff yet. Radio Sidewinder is a good resource. Well, it depends on how you learn. Some people prefer to learn by doing. I think for me, streaming it was the perfect way to learn. Like I said, I can get as much information as I need when I need it without having to spend time like looking it up, because that would have just been too frustrating for me. I don't like Googling things,
Disengaged.
you know, and I don't want to sit there and watch a whole tutorial. I'm not going to absorb the information. But like being able to obtain new information and precisely information that I needed at the time is just perfect for me. It's like, I only want to know about this one thing. Don't tell me other things right now. I just want to know how this thing works. I have questions about this specific thing. Or like when in the early days, I was like, what's the button for landing gear again? Rather than having to look it up, people would just like, it's L. Okay, thanks. To the point where I still remember a lot of the keyboard commands, and even when I'm pressing buttons on my HOTAS, I still think of them as J and L and, you know, bracket or whatever. It's funny. Love how complex it immediately felt, but at the same time I also felt like this was the sort of game that I would need to have an afternoon with as I figured it out. Yeah. It took me a long time. There's still stuff that I'm learning about the game. Even people with hundreds and hundreds of hours, or, excuse me. Let's just... I had a friend that could walk me through everything. Yeah, so I recommend either 8-Bit Dame if you wanted to stream the game. The community for Elite at large is really, really nice and really helpful. They're lovely people. And they're more than willing to help out and answer questions. Or, for people who aren't streamers, to like have a friend sit with you in a voice channel or something, so you can just ask them questions. Ah, the early days of Elite. Flight assist stuff. That was such a good day, dude. I might actually play that entire video for my streamiversary, because it's my 5-year celebration and I can do whatever the fuck I want. And I subject you guys to all sorts of weird shit. But I mean, that was even after a large chunk of hours, wasn't it? Like, that was not early. It's not the sort of game I can start up for a half an hour. I see. Well, no. Me, an intellectual. It's actually pronounced hot ass. No, that's if you do 2 sticks. Then you can have the... Well, technically it's potas sauce. Hands on stick and stick. Do plan to? I have a friend that I'm going to ride shotgun with, but likewise I thought it would be nice to just stream for a random afternoon. Yeah, it is. It definitely is. The last A is silent. I thought exactly of you, Toasty, when I said that. I was like, that's not actually how that works now that I'm thinking about it, but I'm so used to you saying it. I was like, this must be true. Oof. I have a date with a massage pillow later. My shoulder, in between my shoulder blades, is just so achy. It's a disaster! Oh, water. I'm curious to see a game that I like to play is how many jumps can we do in a day? And I tend to not look until the end of the stream, but I'm kind of curious. I can break my own rules, it's fine. Do you guys want to know how many jumps? I started with 212.
Disengaged.
Which Genshin character is on the pillow? It's not that kind of pillow. But it would be Lisa. If I was gonna get a... Ooh, 85. Damn, I've been putting in work today. Oh, by the way, Ass Garage. That's my home base. That's where all my ships live. They live in the Ass Garage. I will never not be amused by that. Do you know how many jumps until you get to where you want to be? Yeah, it says it right here. I sometimes don't look until the end of the day just because I'm weird.
Frameshift drive charging.
It's like a surprise. I like surprises. But yeah, I would totally get a waifu pillow of Lisa. 100%. I already use like regular like head pillows because I sleep on my sides and I hunch, like I curl my shoulders like this when I'm on my side. So I've started sleeping with a pillow here to just keep my shoulders from collapsing inwards. And that helps a lot, but like I would totally get a Lisa waifu pillow, I'm not even kidding. Either that or like a really goofy looking dino or something. Or maybe I could get my meerkat on a pillow. I mean, meerkats are long, that makes sense. Hi, Picard, how you doing? Decotin, how are you guys? Always bring a smile and a small giggle when I see that. With the Ass Garage. Yes, it is counting down. So when you plot to somewhere, it tells you how many jumps to go, and then it counts down each time you jump. Friendship drive, charging. It's my favorite drive. Ugh, it's icky and raining today. I say this all the time. I like the rain, but I have to go to work, and I don't like to be outside in the rain. I don't like having to travel in the rain. I want to stay inside, listen to the rain, and like read a book. Speaking of reading books, I'm gonna jump back to Preacher. I know I mentioned it.
Fuel scooping.
I haven't decided yet if I even want to read the next ones.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
It's just a lot. It feels very like edgy for the sake of being edgy. Like this might end up being a thing that I just like. I'm curious about the overall plot, but I just don't like the characters. Like they're just all awful. and not in a way that is necessarily compelling to me at this juncture in my life.
Fuel scooping.
So, like, this might just be one where I'm like, either somebody tell me the plot or I'm gonna fucking Wikipedia it. I don't know that I want to sit through another... Let's see. If I finish... I'm gonna finish the second trade paperback, which is one I'm working on. I'm almost done with it. But I don't know that I want to sit through another, like, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 300, 600, 900, 1200 pages.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Meerkats are long. It sounds like a quote you could put on a shirt. Meerkat facts. Did you know that meerkats are long? Oh shit, yeah, Brett's got the body pillow hookups.
Fuel scooping.
Okay guys, if you were gonna get a Genshin Impact body pillow, even if you don't play the game, like, look, you can look up the characters and play along with us. You're gonna get a body pillow with your waifu or gaifu of choice. Who would your choice be? Mine would be Lisa. So far, she has the best aesthetic and the best voice in the game.
Frameshift drive.
And the best personality. I like her the best. She's the best. Well, thanks to Googling Genshin Daki Makura, today I learned moehobby.com exists. Oh! I feel like I need to indulge my curiosity at some point. This would be a great way to do what you're doing now or listening to an audiobook or podcast. Hell yeah. What's a TLD? Does like to need a Baron body pillow? No, 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 no. Hey, Krult Pulps. How are you? That is not what we were asking for. No. A meerkat body pillow would be great. It's a cute meerkat. I would want either my main meerkat or something just really dumb. I would want something like a big derpy animal. Like Mortimer from Dota. That's Spitfire's orangey dragon mount that kind of looks like Toothless. Like a Toothless body pillow. Like you just imagine snuggling Toothless. Like that sounds like it's so cute. It's adorable. I just want to like smush them. Oh, Nito, Dual Stars. Oh, 8-bit. You have so many lovely things to see. There is so much gorgeousness in this game. There's so much that's really, really cool, and I'm very excited for you to discover it. When I finally got out of the starting area, what I did was I want to be a space tourist. And I said, chat, tell me things I should go check out. And so they would just like give me coordinates. They would say, this system, go. And I would just go. It was really cool. I got to see a lot of things. I also, one of the first things I did was I went to all of the Generation ships, and those have lore that you can find. They're like audio logs. And they tell a little story about the inhabitants of that ship. And those were really cool. Those were really cool. I found that to be a very nice way to be sure that I see some cool things and experience some cool things without sort of mindlessly just jumping around and hoping I see cool shit, which is also nice in its own right. But when I was first starting out, I was like, that's too much work. Just tell me where to go and I'll go there. Right now, Lisa, but I haven't seen them all. Yeah, I haven't seen them all either. It's the stockings. It's the stockings, just like Intercourse. Gaming Morning Show, thank you for that, host. I appreciate it. Here you go, on eBay. That better not be a Baron body pillow. Ooh. Oh, my goodness, grapes. What the hell? That's a little bit, that's not what I, expected. Why is she spilling tea on her foot? That is a weird, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think I want that one. That's a little outside of my personal, range there. waste of tea, right? And I have a thing where like I don't food belongs in mouth. That's it. Occasionally finger if then directly applied to mouth. Like I'm not gonna say that I haven't ever just gone like bloop, nop, like cookie dough, and instead of like scraping with a spoon or whatever, finger. It's just easier. But like messy, like food on other places of the body, like food on people's faces, I can't even look at you. Clean that shit up. I can't watch babies eat. That's fucking disgusting. I know that they don't have the motor control to do it properly, but I can't. Feed your baby where I can't see it, because I don't want to fucking see it. It's not cute. It's not endearing. Get the food off your goddamn face, you trash baby. You are a pile of trash. You are vile and disgusting. Wipe that shit off. I can't, like, I don't know what it is about it. I can't stand food on people's faces. I don't really get the, like, chocolate sauce on the titties thing. Like, titties are great, but I will lick them of my own accord. I don't need the chocolate sauce, and then it's just sticky. I'm not into it. It's not a thing that I enjoy. If that's for you, that's fine. I'm not gonna judge you on it. Just don't involve me in it. That's all I ask. Make my body pillow the Normandy? That's so good. That doesn't sound very cuddly, though. Maybe the inside of the Normandy. Oh my gosh, I have a great body pillow. So I have a Zoom background that is shirtless Caden. He's like lounging, and I'm just like, you know? Like, put that on a body pillow. That's good shit. I want something cuddly. I don't want to cuddle a hunk of metal. I mean, aesthetically, like, that looks cool, but then thinking about it, I'm like, that's cold and hard. Unless it's a plushie, like a giant Normandy plushie, so it's like the actual shape of the ship, I can get down with that. Or like Firefly, or Serenity, rather. At least it was a red head on top of that, it sealed the deal, right? Babies in general are fucking disgusting. Hide your baby! Me at all babies get good. It's true though. I don't hate babies, I just don't want to watch them eat. Hefty Goof, how you doing? When I became a parent, the poop. Not gross compared to food on face. Right? I'd rather deal with poop. I think that's what you were saying, right? I cannot handle food on face. I just can't do it. Good for you for being a parent despite sharing my opinion on food on face. Like, that would be a struggle for me. I'd be like constantly wiping my baby. Wax on, wax off, baby! Just like, it would take one bite and get it all over. It'd be like, wipe it off. I wouldn't be able to just let them learn on their own. I'd have to have, like, my partner or partners be like, you do it. I'm not around for feeding time. Like, at me when they're up to solid food that doesn't leave marks on your face. Like, I'll watch you eat an apple. Like, apple slices. I can handle that. I can handle some apple. Oh, fuck! I didn't realize I was in the occlusion zone there. My bad. Yeah, emergency too close. Oopsies. Make my body pillow the Macross? What's a Macross? A 6-foot Normandy plushie pillow? That would be cool. That would be real cool. I think, again, I would probably go for, like, Toothless or Mortimer. Rather than a ship, but that would be really neat anyway. Come back to me when they learn how to use a spoon and fork, right, Gurgur? How you doing? How did I... I don't remember what my buttons were. There we go. Align with Vector.
3, 2, 1. Engage.
That's the benefit of having a really well organized, like, organization skills and to some extent,
Fuel scoop disengaged.
like button mapping. No, I didn't remember what my button was, but I was like, well, what would I have mapped it to? If I was mapping it right now, what would I have done? And so I did it, and I was like, that was correct. It's the same thing of like, if I don't specifically remember where I put something in my house, I'm like, well, if I was deciding where its home was, where if I was deciding where I would put it permanently, where would that be? And I go to that location and it's usually there. If it's not there, I'm like, okay, well, what's the other option that I would have put it? And then it's there. Like, it can only be one of two places. The main ship from Macross, also known as the SDF. Weeb stuff. Okay, yeah, I'm not familiar. I'm familiar with certain weeb things, not other weeb things. Oh, Krult Pulp, speaking of stalkings, have you seen, what's her name? Zurchel? What the fuck is her name again? Fischl. Where'd I get Zurchel from? I don't know. Fischl. She's got like asymmetrical stalking going on. It's interesting. Excited for the Mass Effect remasters. It really works for me. My brain is such a messy place. I have the organization gene and I have it hard. One of the best things that happened when I started my job as a florist,
Fuel scooping complete.
my boss was like, yeah, things are kind of in a bit of disarray, but if you just want to organize it and just tell me where things are, you can organize it however you want. And I was like, that is the best gift.
Frameshift drive charging.
Robotech is way before your time. I watch old things. I actually made a friend in college. I was outside of my dorm having a cigarette, and some person I didn't know walked up to me and they said, hey, this was like 1 a.m. Hey, do you want to watch a movie? I was like, sure. And they were like, it's old, it's black and white. And I was like, okay. They're like, oh, everybody else decided they didn't want to watch a movie when I said that. I did fall asleep during the movie, but that was because it was like 2 a.m. and the movie was like 3 hours long. I don't remember what it was that we watched. But that was how we became friends. So he was like, I'm into this old shit. And I was like, alright, I'm down. Let's do it.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
Going to have some real fun when I start mapping stuff in this game since I have my hotel set up. Ooh, that's so exciting! Haven't played it yet since I got my new control scheme. Oh, I'm so excited for you. When I got my very first HOTAS and I booted up Elite, it was so overwhelming. I was like, there's so many buttons. I have no idea what any of this does, and I just sat there giggling. It was great. It was so good. You have seen Fischl? She's the free character given in the current event. I got her out of a loot box. I should do the event so that I can, like, level her up or something, because apparently she's highly sought after.
Fuel scoop.
Her hair's a little bit too disheveled for me.
System scan.
Like, she can never live up to Lisa, but I like all of the outfits of the characters. There's not a character that I'm like, oh, I don't like it. I like Xiangling
Disengaged. Frameshift.
because her color scheme is very different. So I'm like, ooh, mustard yellow. Don't mind if I do. But Lisa's top tier. 1979 was one heck of a year for sci-fi anime. What was the other one? What are your two favorite series from that year? Anime was how Krult and I became friends. Aw. We need level 20. I'm working on it. I either hit 17 last night or I'm like 20 XP away. I'm about to go into some hideout or something for Lisa's quest. But I was like, it's past 11, I should probably stop playing. Yeah, I'm hoping to be 20 by Tuesday. So I can do some of that stuff. You have 2 weeks? Right. That's no problem. What should my next anime be? Like I said, I think I'm gonna drop Dragon Ball Z Abridged. It's just not doing it for me. Because what, there's 69 videos, and I know they're short, but still. I gave it a good old try. I think I watched 17 and a half of those episodes. And I didn't flat out dislike it, which is why I kept going, but I'm just like not invested in it. I think without the nostalgia factor, or without having seen the series originally, it's just like not enough for me. Also, a lot of the jokes are there's some jokes that you cannot get away with these days. I also found that with the Guild, but I had seen the Guild back when it was new. And now that I'm older, I'm a little bit more sensitive to certain things. Could try Macross. No, I finished Steins Gate. I gotta check my list. Let me do that. I use TV Time as an app to track shows that I've been interested in. I wanted to rewatch Cowboy Bebop and Welcome to the NHK. Welcome to the NHK and Nana. Welcome to the NHK and Nana, I think, are my favorite series that I've seen in anime. Just like really, really well done. Welcome to the NHK a little bit more. One that I did not like was Fooly Cooly. I did not appreciate it. What do I got here? I also have to finish Umbrella Academy Season 2. Just started Season 3 of Lucifer. Still working through Season 2 of the original Star Trek. Oh, Yuri on Ice! That's the only anime that I have on my list left. Oh, no, that's not true. I needed to add... Oh, Chell wanted me to watch something. I'd have to go back in our Twitter DMs. It was one that I'd heard of. I also wanted to do... It's on my Netflix. I need to add it to this list as well. Evangelion? Because I've never watched Evangelion, and when I was in Japan, I had a host family for a weekend, and Papa-sama loved Evangelion, and I wanted to experience the show because it clearly meant a lot to him, and I wanted to have that little connection and try to see what he saw in it. DBZA was funny as it was coming out, yeah. Going back through, I'm just like, oof. Love Dragon Ball, but I've also been watching it over 20 years from the beginning. Yeah. I was curious to watch the series just as it originally was. I think, you know what, Dragon Ball Z Abridged is the only thing that Fred recommended to me that I did not end up enjoying. Me and Fred have very similar tastes in media, so normally if he says, oh, you'll like this, then I'm like, okay, I'll like it. Or if he says, I love this, I will probably love whatever that is. Just because we like a lot of the same stuff. Same with my dad. We just have a lot of similar feelings about certain stuff. Even Plex has it free on their service. Plex is dependent on whoever owns the server. So you might have it on the Plex server that you're in. That doesn't mean it's on my Plex server. Guild was cringe even then? Not to me. And I don't even find it cringy. Cringy is a weird word that I don't like. It has a lot of connotations that I just don't appreciate. There's just certain types of jokes that don't work for me anymore. Konosuba. No, I've never heard of that one. Melancholy of Harui Suzumiya. No, I haven't seen that one either. Really strange. First thing to understand is that it's not linear. It jumps around in time. That can work for me if it's done in a specific way. I don't necessarily need things to be linear, but yeah, I don't mind things being a little bit confusing, but there has to be enough intrigue and enough lucidity. I have not seen that much anime. As much as I like it, I just haven't seen that much of it. Ooh, nap time. Alright, Chaz. Have a good nap. Thanks for being here. Don't understand how Evangelion has a following it does, but to each their own. Right, and I might not like it. I have no idea. I've never tried it, so I wanted to try it out. I'm actually gonna put that on my... Why are there like 80 of them? So I think Neon Genesis Evangelion is like the first one, right? Somebody help me. Somebody help me with that. I think that's the one on Netflix anyway. Also the Gundam series. There was, I think it was Gurren Lagann was the one Chell wanted me to see. I have to check Twitter if I'm gonna... She was like, I will watch Welcome to the NHK if you watch this. And I was like, deal. But it'll take me a while to get around to it. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I've not watched Brotherhood. I did watch Full Metal Alchemist, and I did enjoy it. Hey, Silent Neko, how you doing? Not based on user content? They have a streaming service? Okay, I'm unaware of that. Crazy Gundam fanboy. I've actually watched all of the Gundam. So, the Longship, Will's community, has a lot of people who are super into Gundams, and Will's been, like, building Gundam models. And that has me intrigued. That's what makes me want to see the show. Is, like... Well, and I've heard good things throughout the years. Again, I might not like it if I ever go or get around to watching it. But, like, the models are what gets me. I'm like, ooh, but tiny little pieces and building things that will drive me insane. Perfect! I love it. Like, I always want to get into little crafting things. But, like, I'm gonna hold off. I have way too many crafting supplies. And also, I would have nowhere to put them. Like, as much as I love Legos, like, what am I gonna do once I finish them? Just break them, you know? I'm just gonna break them back down. You can't really do that with models. Neon Genesis Evangelion is one of my favorite anime series. However, Netflix butchered the translation and the English voice acting. Well, I would for anime, I'm kind of snooty in that I'm never gonna do dubbed. I will always choose subbed. I'm curious to hear, like, what do you mean by they ruined the translation? And I'm wondering if there's a different place I could find it. JP, hush your face. It was weird to get into because about a third of it is in one timeline, the other 2/3 is alternate universe. I mean, that's fine. Generator Gall. I don't know that. Konosuba, God's Blessing on This Wonderful World. It's one of the few anime I've ever laughed out loud at. Okay. A lot of regular shows and vlogs. It's like a bit like YouTube, but different. Huh. I had no idea. I thought it was just purely what users have uploaded. It's all sorts of flavors of Gundam shows. Yeah, that's another reason that I never bothered to try to get into it, because I'm like, I don't know which one is what. There's like Gundam this, Gundam that, Gundam. I'm like, which one is, how do I go about this? Like, it's just kind of daunting to figure out what series to even start with. Like, are there some that are just hot trash? Is there, like, the one that's the good one that everybody loves, and the other ones just are, like, spin-offs? Like, I haven't had the time or the energy to figure that out. Brotherhood jumped to your top anime? Hard time with Ghost in the Shell. Standalone complex. First Full Metal started before the manga was complete, and they came up with this trash. Okay. Well, maybe I'll give it a try, because I think back in the day somebody told me that Brotherhood wasn't any good, and I think that person was just full of shit. I think that person was probably wrong because everyone I've heard since then says Brotherhood is really good. So I should probably try it. Ranma 1.5 because of nostalgia. One dub I recommend is Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 2040. Added jokes and stuff in the dub that aren't in the sub that actually improved the series. Full Metal Alchemist, Sexy Vexy. How you doing, love? Is FOSS. What is FOS? Full of shit? Full of shit. Ferrets of Seattle. Ferrets of Seattle. Neon Genesis changed some important keywords in English subtitles to change the meaning of the scene. Oh. You can find a site that hosts the old DVDs as a correct translation. You just finished Brotherhood and it's great? Alright, I'll put it on my list. I'm putting it on my list right now. Full Metal. Alchemist. Just waiting for the app to catch up to what I'm typing. New. Brotherhood? Why is it not coming up? Why can't I find it? That's gotta be in here. I can't find it on my app. That's odd. Brotherhood's on Netflix? Okay. I like using the app because sometimes I'll just look at the app rather than opening up all of the different streaming services and trying to figure out where stuff is. I'll just be like, okay, what shows did I want to watch? And I'll just look at my app and be like, this one. Yeah, I don't know why Brotherhood's not coming up. Is Full Metal one word? There we go. That's what it was. Added. All right. So now when I'm like I would like to start another anime, then it's there.
Fuel scooping.
Noob's Guide to Gundam. All right. Excellent. This is great. Most of the alternate universe series are good and stand alone. Don't bother with Seed or Seed Destiny. They're terrible. Gundam X is the only alternate that does not stand alone. You want to have watched OG Timeline to get it. Okay. Okay. So I'll have to see. I like watching things based on release date. So I would probably start with the original series anyway, because I like to see what started it all. Like, what was the thing that made it explode? Universal Century. Watch it in order. Okay. I don't mind things being a little bit slow. Dragon Ball Z, I think I ignored because it's like a million episodes of them just like charging up a single attack, and I didn't think that I could handle that as a 30-year-old who never watched the series when it aired. So I'm like I don't have those nostalgia vibes, which is why I went with abridged, but again, we discussed that. That was just an example of like slow burn, yes. Just like superfluous taking forever for no fucking reason, no thank you. Oh, what was I thinking? Sailor Moon. I tried to watch Sailor Moon. I want to love Sailor Moon. I was given the first manga to borrow when I was in junior high, like I want to say 7th grade. But the book itself, like the physical book, was falling apart. So like half of the pages were falling out and they hadn't been put back in order. And not every page had a page number on it. So I spent like an hour trying to reconstruct the book without trying to spoil it for myself. So I'd like read up to the part where the pages were starting to fall out, and then I was trying to figure out, okay, what page goes here? And I did that for like an hour. And I was like, this is impossible. I have no idea what comes next. There are no page numbers, so I didn't read it. I think if I had read it at that time, I would have loved the shit out of it, and I would have been a huge weeb from back in the day. But I didn't like really start watching anime until I was in college. Probably because of that, like I just never was exposed to it before that point. Like Naruto was my first series. You know, so when I was in college, I took a manga class and I took a graphic novel class, and I think I can't remember if it was for the manga class or the graphic novel class, but whatever. They had us read the first Sailor Moon manga. And I could not stand her. God, she was so annoying. So again, as like a 20-year-old reading this, I was like, I cannot deal with this. I just like couldn't get into it. So I was like, maybe I could do the series. Cause like I know that people loved it, and like I want to see what they loved in it. I want to give it a better shot. And so I tried when it was like released on Hulu or something. Like this was a couple years ago. So I like gave it a few episodes, and I just like couldn't get into it. I also don't have patience enough to like, oh, it only gets good in the 3rd season, or like I will give things a certain amount of time. If it's an hour-long TV show, I will give it like 2 episodes, maybe 3, to get its hooks into me, to make me interested, to have me find something that makes me want to keep going. I'm not willing to sit through a whole season to get to the part where it gets good. Or like if it's a half hour, I maybe will give it like 4 or 5 episodes. Video games, depending on the length of the game, like for Final Fantasy VIII, for example, I gave that like 12 to 14 hours, and I was like, that's a lot of time. Like I could have played a whole entire game in that amount of time. So like, if I gotta wait 8 seasons for Sailor Moon to get good, I'm just never gonna watch it, you know what I mean? Build Fighters Try and Re-Rise. You can watch them legally and free on YouTube on their info channel. Oh, nice. Over halfway through Zero... How do you say that? Is it 00 Gundam? Is it 00 Gundam? Watch Sailor Moon and Bananas in Pajamas before going to high school in the mornings. Oh my gosh, you are so precious, Vexy. I love you. Gundam Unicorn? That sounds so silly. It requires a crazy amount of things watched before it to make sense of it all. Over 250 episodes over a pile of series, plus at least 1 movie to understand. Yeah, that's a lot of a commitment. That's a lot of a commitment. And because it's like in the same world, like, I don't begrudge it that. But until I know if I even like it, you know, like that's where I go, never watching that shit. Which is not necessarily true. If I try the OG series and I like it, then I'm more than willing to just keep going until I don't like it anymore, you know? Like Bleach, for example. Loved the first arc of Bleach, it was so good. And then the second arc was so boring and trash. I was like, everyone's just floating in the sky and fighting, and I don't even know why they're fighting. I got up to like 200 plus episodes, and I was like, I don't care anymore. My high school mornings were Sailor Moon and Power Rangers. Power Rangers was a much earlier thing for me. That was like, come home after elementary school, watch Power Rangers. First anime was Voltron, Defenders of the Universe.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
Final Fantasy XII is the best. I really... The next Final Fantasy that I pick up, I want it to be 6. That's Fred's favorite. And like I said, we tend to like the same things. So I will probably very much enjoy it. His favorite game of all time is Chrono Trigger, and that's why I played Chrono Trigger. He did not steer me wrong. That game is so good. That is an example of a fantastic game that just holds up beautifully. There wasn't anything in it that felt archaic or out of touch. And that is really hard to do. That is really, really hard to do. Because, like, you can't foresee the future and what humor is going to look like and what media is going to look like and what themes are going to be relevant or, you know, what characters are going to feel like you've seen them a million times. Like, I don't know how they managed to do it, but they did. It's just really fucking good. I couldn't watch Bleach or Naruto because I dove into the manga for those first, and anime didn't work as good for me. Fair enough. First anime at the age of 11 was Vampire Hunter D. The first one from the 80s. I don't think I know that one either. 6 is your favorite best soundtrack. My mom was a very busy person and did not supervise my media consumption. I was pretty much allowed to watch or read, especially read, whatever the fuck I wanted. And like music, I was allowed to listen to whatever. There were very, very few exceptions to that. When I was in kindergarten, I was 4. My mom did not want me to see Jurassic Park. She thought it would be too scary. I ended up seeing it anyway because she used to work in a bridal store, and the owner of the bridal store put it on in the waiting room when I was there, so I was just like, I saw it anyway, Mom. And then when I brought home my first Eminem CD, my mom was like, I want to listen to these songs first. Which was weird, because I grew up listening to all sorts of stuff. And there was only one song that she objected to. She was like, you can listen to any song on this album. I think, like, his music is really great. I really like it. Like, this song's hilarious. But that there was this one song. I wish I could remember exactly. I thought it was Square Dance, but I don't think that one was it. It was either Square Dance or it was adjacent to in the track list. I don't remember what it was. I'd have to ask her if she remembers. But she was like, this one song, I don't want you to listen to it. And I didn't until I was an adult. I would skip that song dutifully, even though she would never know if I listened to it. I was a very well-behaved child. I also was not allowed to have caffeine when I was little. And my friends and I were, like, scrounging our quarters together to, like, try and buy a can of soda to share. And I think they bought a can of Coke, and I was like, well, I can't have that. And I refused to drink it. Yakitate. No, I haven't. Chrono Trigger stands up very well. You'd probably enjoy Xenogears since you like Chrono Trigger. Maybe. I have so many games. This is the trouble I have with suggestions, is like, I want to finish my lists. I want to cross things off of my lists, and I, like, especially games, I'm a little bit more, like, don't recommend shit to me. I don't want more games. I do want more games, but I don't want more recommendations, because, like, there's so much out there. There is a wealth of content. So if it's not already on my radar, like, I just want to... Ignorance is bliss. You saw what in the theater? I already forgot what I was blabbering about. Oh, Jurassic Park? Dad said, I don't know if you guys should be watching this. And I said, no, it's fine. Lol. That's funny. Such a good kid. I was very well behaved. Sorry, my boss texted me. Meanwhile, I had coffee, soda, beer, and hard liquor while I was in single digits old. Wow. I also didn't have soda frequently. Like that was a treat to have soda. It was a frequent treat, but not like an everyday thing. My parents also didn't monitor our video consumption, so I grew up on Terminator, Commando, Aliens, Revenge of the Nerds, Spaceballs, Star Wars. I had a teacher who showed us Spaceballs in class, like as part of the written curriculum, in 6th grade. She was awesome. She showed us a lot of weird shit, though. She was the best. Most stunning anime movie recommend Robot Carnival, an anthology of some of the most well-known directors of anime. You know what I would love to be made into a series, and maybe it has been? Blackjack. I'm trying to think. I have them over there. I'm looking at them as if I can see. I'm blanking on the author's name now. But those were really good. There's at least one story in there that I think of every now and again. Like that to me is the mark of a really good piece of media. Like if it'll float back to me every now and again, like, oh yeah, I remember that, and just like I sit there and think about it. And that's one of those. So there's just one specific story in there that just like really stuck with me. So you're saying is everyone should send games to Lecta as gifts? I mean, if it's off my wish list. But please don't feel obligated. I have so many games that I already own and have not gotten around to yet. But that's part of streaming. I mean, yeah, I've started being more particular. Like I only want like the top of the top experiences. Like some people say like, oh, you liked this, you might like that. And I'm like, but like I only want stuff that is like the best of the best. Like I've had people recommend stuff and be like, it's a good game. There's a lot of good games. I don't have time for good. I have time for excellent. I have time for stellar. And that's not to say that everything I happen to pick up or things that I'm excited about or interesting are always going to be the best of. Of course not. Because I'm going in blind. How the fuck am I supposed to know? Like, I don't know until I'm there. But, like, people who have experienced a game and they're like, this is pretty good. I don't have time for that. I'm too old now. I don't have time for pretty good. I need, like, top tier. Top tier only. Or, like, really experimental shit. Like, really, like, weird. Like, who knows if this is gonna be good, but I really want to see how it works. That I can get into. Because, again, I like the little bullshit.
Frameshift drive charging.
Check Steam list. I don't want to talk about it. I'm down to 65, and that's not even to say that I will eventually get all 65 of those. I go through every now and again, and I'm like... Because part of my wish list is not, I need this game immediately. It's more like... keep an eye on this, like see when the game releases and kind of see like what people are saying about it in general, or like watch somebody play this. It's kind of, it's half, oh my god, I need this, and half like
Fuel scooping.
I want to keep an eye on this game, and most likely I'll still want it, but who knows. I've removed a couple of things. It's not often that I remove stuff. Stop judging me. I'm not judging you. That's just how I function. You don't have to be the same as me. Looks at 2,000 game backlog in Steam. What? 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 The other thing that I do, you know, like there's free games floating around all over the place.
3, 2.
I will not pick up a game for free if I don't think that I will actually play it. If I think I will play it and enjoy it, or if it's something like, oh my gosh, I've had my eye on this forever. Oh wait, it's Monday! Is it the 16th? There's a reason I got really excited. Speaking of a game that I'm super excited about and have had my eye on and is being given away for free, The World Next Door is being given away for free on Epic. And I'm super excited. It's a game that I have had my eye on for the last couple of years. I saw it at probably PAX East and then saw it again other times. But the thing that I wasn't allowed to say about it, because I know that somebody posted that in Discord, probably JP, a little bit ago, but I'm going to be doing a sponsored stream for The World Next Door I think Saturday or Sunday, this weekend. I'm going to be doing a sponsored stream for it, and that was the thing I wasn't allowed to say, but that I was really excited about. So I'm very excited to finally get to check out that game. It looks like your Jimmy Jam, hell yeah. Like, other than the art, I don't remember anything about it. Like, I don't remember what intrigued me in the first place, and I don't want to know. I'm very excited to just go straight into it super blind. Don't watch good streamers. Just have time to watch top tier only. Aw, Dominic, that's cute. Thank you. Bundle addiction is real. Yeah, I won't buy bundles. I refuse to buy bundles. Unless I want like 90% of the games and there's like maybe one, and then I'll try and give away that one in there. But I don't buy bundles because, like, even if there's a good price for just the one that I want, there's like all these other ones I don't want. I don't want them in my library. It's that organization thing. I don't want things that I will not use in my space. Whether that's my virtual space or my actual space. And I also refuse to buy things most of the time until, like, unless I know I'm going to play it immediately. If I'm going to play it right away, then I can have it. But if like Steam has sales all the time, right? And I'm like, well, ooh, this game has a really good sale and I want it. But then I'm like, well, when are you going to play it? And if the answer is not immediately, then I will wait for the next sale and reevaluate. Yes, Elite is also available for free.
Frameshift drive charging.
Lecta's the best streamer. Oh no, you can't say those things to me. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's so nice.
4, 3,
Yeah, I did 2 8-bit.
1.
I did 2. There were also there were a lot of games in there that I had my eye on. But also, it's a great cause. And I was like, well, but, eep. It's also in its own list, so I can almost pretend like most of them aren't there. You know what I mean? There's an RPG system that was included in the Racial Equality Bundle that, called Cyborgs and Cigarettes. That sounded really interesting, and I think you could do it as a one-shot. And I'd love to try that out sometime. Like, there's a lot of stuff in there that just sounded really interesting. Like, succulent sorcerers, where you play as little succulent plants that do, like, witchcraft or some shit. I don't remember exactly. But, like, I went through and I read the descriptions of all of the things in the bundle. Yes, I know that took me a very long time. And there were some, like those kinds of things. Like, this concept is just so unique and so interesting that I want to spend time experiencing it, even if it doesn't end up being, like, the best shit I've ever played. You know, like, but it doesn't have to be. I'm weird. Thanks for suggesting Control. I bought it after watching you play and I love it. Oh, Foxy Gamer, I'm so excited. I'm so glad you're enjoying it. I'm loving it. I played Quantum Break a few years ago and adored it. I was like, you know, I was interested in that's another one where I was like, the concept of this is really interesting, where they're involving a live action section. They were supposed to have like a TV show going along in tandem with the game, and I was like, that's so interesting. I just want to see how that works. that was one of those where it might not be the best game, but I just want to see how it works. And after it came out, no one really talked about it. Like, I never heard anybody talking about it. But I was like, well, I'm curious, so I'm gonna play it. And I did, and I fucking loved it. I loved it, loved it, loved it. And then somebody said, hey, this is made by Remedy, the same people who did Alan Wake. And I was like, oh shit, well now I gotta play Alan Wake. And I did, and I loved that as well. And so then Control, I saw it at E3 a couple years back, and I was like, oh, that looks so sick. That looks really interesting. And then I found out that it was by the same people, and I was like, okay, instant buy. I need to see nothing else, instant purchase. They also did Max Payne. I finally remembered the other series that they did. It's Max Payne. Succulent plants, right? Just got a new Tetris game. Tetris 99? Was that what it was? Pretty intense making music while you play. Oh, neat. I didn't realize that that was how it worked, that you were like creating the music as you went. I've heard good things about the soundtrack though. I avoid bundles unless there's a significant amount of things I'll use in them. Exactly. Speaking of organization, I've sorted all my Steam games into folders. Oh, figure 4 with the dirty talk. Whew! Or the clean talk. The sexy clean talk. Oh yeah. Alfie! Aluminum Iron, thank you so much for being a patron of the Hype for 8 months! I hope you enjoyed your parade, and here's your royal salute! Tetris Effect connected. Okay. I'm not up with the Tetrises. Flying a Diamondback. I am! Hey, Death Clown, how are ya? Uh-oh. Is the next star scoopable? Because I'm running out of juice here. I have never had to call the fuel rats. 37 jumps. We got a really far way today. We got really far. I actually don't know how to tell. I don't remember how to tell if the next one I'm going to be able to scoop at. Well, it's only going to use half the fuel I have left, so we'll try it. I will soon be a member of the Corrected Glasses Wearing Club. Oh. For seeing far away or seeing close. Have a nice day in space. Gotta go to meetings. Toodles. Bye, Gurgur. Thanks for being here and hanging out with us. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you another time. Have a good one. Can you tell me a bit about Elite Dangerous? I've looked at it a million times, but never sure if I would like it. Okay, so Elite Dangerous is an open world experience. Think fuck we're scooping, where it's very much you can do a bunch of different things, but it's not linear. It's a play however you want to play. You can go exploring, which is what I'm returning from doing, and just jump around and look at pretty things and find stuff and discover shit. You can go mining, you can do combat, you can run cargo missions, there's a bunch of lore scattered throughout. It is a one-to-one recreation of our galaxy in terms of scale. You can do trading. What else can you do? There's lots of stuff that I'm sure I'm not even thinking of. You can do all of it if you want to. You can do just one thing. It's mostly like you can do races. You can race through like canyons and whatnot. You can meet up with other players. You can play by yourself if you want to. You know what I noticed? We have not had any neutron star jumps on the way back. I wonder if that's just because there aren't any, or if because I haven't turned it off. Anyway, sorry, I distracted myself. So after I'm done with this jump, I'll show you like the system map and whatnot. We've only been seeing the jump animation all day, so I'm trying to get back to the bubble. Top right, what does it say? I couldn't see anything there. I don't know how to get it to come back up. But the thing that I like about Elite, well, I like doing all of those different things in Elite that I mentioned. I find it really relaxing and satisfying. We were actually comparing it to Stardew Valley earlier in that it's a what you make of it kind of game. So let me show you, like here's a galaxy map. And if I scroll out, it's like I'm over here. I came from somewhere in here. These are my little bookmarks. But like, here's where Earth is, roughly in there. And, excuse me. Oh, maybe I didn't map the, but like, it's the entire galaxy. So you can just go fly around and enjoy. There's also, if you have Horizons, which is the DLC, you can land on planets that don't have atmosphere and ride around in like a little dune buggy or an ATV or four-wheeler, whatever you want to call it. Kind of like the Mako from Mass Effect. You can just go drive around there and you can and explore like planetary surfaces. And I think if you own the base game, and I don't know if getting it for free on Epic will count for this, but if you own the base game, when the new expansion comes out in spring, they give you Horizons for free, so you'll be able to do planetary landings whether you buy Horizons or not. The new expansion is very exciting because we're gonna get space legs. And what that means is we will have the ability to actually like walk around. Like right now, I can look down and I see my hands and my legs, but you're always in the cockpit. You're always in some sort of vehicle. Like you don't actually get up and run around, but you will be able to get up and run around. And I think they're also adding planetary landings for planets with atmosphere with that same DLC. And the whole community is very excited. Space Lee Wigs! Space Lee Wigs! Yes! Similar to Eve. I never played Eve. This was my very, very first flight sim, space sim, anything even anywhere close to this. I wasn't sure I was gonna like it. I was just saying earlier. Just taking a break from work to say hi, the rats rock. Yeah, I love that that's just a community who, if you run out of fuel, will just come get you and give you fuel so that you're not stranded. And they don't get paid for it. Like, that's not their job. They just opt. Thank you, Faranox, for that host. They just opt to spend their free time doing that to like help other people. It's neat. Relax my eyes while working so that at the end of the day I'm still able to focus on distant objects. Huh. But Eve. So is it similar to Eve? But yeah, it's based on Sandbox. When your FSD engages, look at the top right. Yeah, but I wanted to see before I jumped. Because if it wasn't scoopable, I wanted to maybe alter my route to make sure that I didn't get stranded. Horizons is part of the base game since October 27th. Is it? I thought that was only happening when the new expansion came out. That's great! How you doing, Jaxer? So I fucked up. You can land on planets. Also has a little Star Citizen in it. Yeah, there's some similarities. I would say that Star Citizen has more of an MMO-y, like, group-up sort of a thing going on. It's a little bit easier in Star Citizen to do things with other players. Elite, it's a little janky still to like try and get together. Like, they do have systems to group up. And we've done it a bunch. But I hope that they smooth that out at some point. But Elite is a much more polished experience. Good first choice. I agree. You'll be able to play the game and never sit in a cockpit if you don't want to. That blows my mind.
Temperature critical.
Eve is more tactical, if only in the UI, to my limited understanding. Maybe I'll start it. Is it fun playing alone? Oh yeah,
Fuel scoop
I have almost 300 hours in the game in total, and I think
Frameshift drive charging.
most of that has been me playing by myself. They already bundled Horizon. It's going to be free November 19th on Epic. Yes, I knew it was going to be free on Epic. I did not realize that they had already bundled Horizons in it. So basically, you get to do everything that the game has to offer currently. And then Space Legs is the new DLC. So yeah, you can buy an SRV, which is what they call the little vehicle. And you can land on planets and go ride around. That was one of the first things that we did co-op. I was like, let's just go mess around in SRVs, and we just like drove around on a planet. I actually took screenshots and I tweeted it. It was cute. We had a cute little experience doing that. And then we did a lot of combat stuff. We did a little bit of group exploring, but not a ton. Do you have your filters set to only scoopable stars? No. Absolutely not. That would take fucking ever. That would take forever. I was coming from Galactic Center. Elite is a very make it what you want. Yes, exactly. Might need to search for a while to find the niche you want to really dig into. I did the opposite, and I continue doing the opposite. I do a little bit of everything. It keeps me from getting bored. Like, all I did to start out was just run, like, data transfer cargo missions. And people, I was just in my Sidewinder, and people were like, well, what ship do you want? And I was like, I don't know. They're like, well, what do you want to do in the game? And I was like, everything. So they said, all right, get a Cobra Mark III then. It's a pretty good, like, secondary ship, and can easily do a little bit of everything. Because I didn't know what I wanted to focus in, and I just ended up never focusing in anything. So now I just have a bunch of ships for different purposes. I've got my Diamond back for exploring. I need to get a new build for mining, because I like my mining ship right now. I'm trying to remember which one I'm using. But I think I wanted to convert the Python that I have into mining. I tried it for combat and I hated it. I used the is it the Eagle or the Vulture for combat? One of the two, I forget. It's been a while. I'd need to look at what ships I have. But yeah, you can also just do a little bit of everything if you want to. Or you can like JP spent how many months only mining. You can also do engineering. So you can like use materials to upgrade parts of your ship. It's not quite as much of a like crafting system as some other games. But I think it's neat. Galactic Center to Bubble. There are many more varied stars. Going scoopable only between is much more viable than between the bubble and the rim. Yeah. I'd be worried getting stuck out in the rim, honestly. The announcer UK. Go create Mark II for mining. So I like whatever ship I have. I'll check what I have in my Ask Garage after this jump. I forget, because it'll list the ships that I have, because they're all in one spot. I like the mining ship that I have. The only thing that I want more in a mining ship, I want more collector limpets. That's basically it. And since I already have the Python from trying it for combat, and I didn't like the turn. The pitch speed was not for me. for combat. So I was looking to repurpose that ship rather than like, what's the best mining?
Space.
Stace! Thanks for the cheer, J-Post. I appreciate it. Python is okay, but Kraid is like Python with fighter bay. I don't need a fighter bay. Like, I don't have guns on this ship. I very, very much specialize. Hey, Trouble Magnet. I very much specialize my ships. And like, unless I am in my oh wait. Just kidding. Stop. I forgot I was gonna check. Galaxy map. Oh yeah, this is the Fuck Your Mother song. No, I'm not kidding. If you listen to the lyrics. Ass Garage. So I've got a Sidewinder, my Cobra Mark III. Oh, it's the ASP. It's the ASP Explorer that I've been using for mining. And the only thing that I dislike about that is, again, I just want more collector limpets because I'm able to like break stuff off of asteroids quickly enough, but then I have to sit there for a million years and like collect things. And we've done a lot of group mining. We're like, hey, let's all go mining together. And just like everybody's scooting off to new stars and I'm like, wait for me! So that's really the only upgrade that I really want for mining, at least right now. Processing is automatic, but yes, you mine the stuff and you go sell it. And then I was using I forget whether I was using my Vulture or my Eagle. I think I was using the Vulture for combat, and the Eagle was for flight assist off canyon flying. And I want to get a different ship for that. So I want to change my Python from being a fighting ship to a mining ship, just so I can have more collector limpets at a time. I want a fleet of collector limpets. Oopsies. And I want to get a different ship for combat. I had some builds saved for that, and they got like fucked up. The bookmarks got weird, so they like didn't have the components listed in them anymore. But I want something that's basically as agile as the Vulture, but with more firepower. Python is best for mining before Imperial Cutter. I want the Imperial Cutter because I like the look of the ship. I think it's the Cutter anyway. One of the Imperial ships is just like the swoopy lines just do me in. I love them. Type 9. I've heard that's a big chunk, isn't it? Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on chat. Mining laser. For laser mining, don't enjoy core mining. And my ASP does core mining just fine. I really, like I said, the only thing I want to upgrade is the ability to have more collector limpets out at a time. Sounds very similar to Eve, but a very different community. Okay. Use my Anaconda for everything but combat. Use your Ferda! FDC. Wait, what's FDC? That's not a Ferda. Rim sucks! I love exploring though, so I'll probably go to the Rim eventually. I'm sorry, your ass garage? Did you not see where my ships live? Do I need to show you again? It's the ass garage. See, we're going to destination ass garage. I'm not joking, that's what, I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but it is now. Might have to look at this game seriously when you get home. You should! It's coming up free on Epic within the next few days. So definitely scoop it up, give it a shot. It does have a very high learning curve in that the UI is a little bit overwhelming. Like for me, I had never played a flight sim, never played a space sim, never played anything similar to this whatsoever. So I came in and I was just like, my eyeballs don't know where to look. So I'm looking nowhere. And I spent my first 4 hours just spinning in a circle, but I had a great time. I was like, wow, I'm utter trash at this game. I love it. Went out there for Canon Exploration Challenge thing, got to a point where in my 55 light year Anaconda had to craft FSD injections for every jump. That's a lot. And J-Post, thank you so much for that cheer if I didn't say it properly. How are you doing today? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Depends on if you solo and how long you're mining for. No guns and just fighter bay. See, I don't mind. Like, I find the, like, lose all your stuff, just that's a part of the game. I used to exclusively play in open. The only reason that I play in a private group session now is when I started doing co-op stuff, because a lot of people don't want to lose all their shit. You know, they don't want to get sniped by people being dicks, which doesn't happen often. But they don't want to risk it, and I totally respect that, and I would not force my gameplay philosophy on other people. And now I'm just used to it, so I just go in our private group. Just started a month or so ago, have over 200 hours or more. It's now my main game, thanks to Lecta for introducing me to it. I love that! And you get DC, you mean disconnected? You get disconnected all the time? Only gun worth having in an exploration ship is a class 1 railgun with the experimental effect that uses fuel for ammo. Just so if it's your thing, you can empty out your fuel tank just enough to increase your jump range. Interesting. Interesting tactic. Cutter's one of your favorites, it's pretty. Prefer the Crate Mark II over the Python. Yeah, the mining is just very chill to me. Like, I'm also very much not a need to be optimal sort of a gameplay person. Like, I'm not a power gamer. You know, I just want to use the thing that I like and that feels good for me, even if it's not the most OP or the best for the thing. Yeah, good shout for the third-party stuff. I don't use them too much. Gotta keep your ass somewhere. Might as well be in the ass garage. Got my fleet carrier recently, and I'm planning on taking it on an expedition to Xibalba? I don't know where that is. Alright, I'm gonna have to stop playing soon. It's a bummer because we're so close. But I have to get ready for work. I actually should have stopped a little bit ago. But we made it, let's see, we had 212 jumps when I started, and we've got 23 left. We got a really far way, so next time I play, I'm not sure when exactly will be the next time, but I don't put this game down for too terribly long. I always come back to it. But yeah, so I'll be able to get back to the bubble, and the very first thing I want to do is I want to, maybe I'll do it offline, because I got a new flight stick, so I gotta mess with my settings if I'm gonna be doing stuff out of Super Cruise, and I still have some keybinds to work on, and I want to make sure that it feels real nice. But the next time I'll be streaming, we're gonna do combat stuff, so if anybody wants to join me for combat things, so wings, or essentially parties, are 4 people only, but what we do when we have more people is we just split into 2 wings, and we make sure that everybody just gets into the same instance so we can still all play together. Because I don't want anybody being excluded. Only going to require like 8,500 tons of tritium. Oh yeah, just a little bit there. Just a little bit. Let's see who I've got on my list. I would like to pass you on to somebody lovely. If you're curious to see more Elite Dangerous... Ooh, we've also got Tilly. Okay, do you want more Elite Dangerous? We can go to Commander Emulated Penguin. Guardian Ruin Decoding. I have no idea what that is or what that means. But if you want to see something entirely different from what I was doing, and hang out with somebody lovely, go see them. So yeah, I gotta get ready for work. Thank you guys so much for being here and hanging out. I will be playing more Elite Dangerous at a later date. Tomorrow I will be back at 8 a.m. playing more Genshin Impact. So yeah, I will see you then. Have a wonderful day. Let's go slam some Meerkat emotes into Commander Emulated Penguin's chat And if you do not have Meerkat emotes or can't unlock them with channel points, then just go ahead and put some hearts in there, show some love, and enjoy more Elite Dangerous stuff. I hope you have a fantastic day, everybody. I'll see you over there. Bye, friends. Bye!